Hello and welcome to a... Well, at first I wanted to have this as an unboxing video. Oh wait. There, better lighting. At first I started as a unboxing video, but apparently I forgot... Well, the connection was wrong. The microphone was installed incorrectly, but now we have. So I'm going to unbox this, which is the expansion of Daggerheart. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, check the book, maybe even create a character. So what it has, I already, because I wanted to be surprised, show it that I'm surprised, but sadly it's already checked it. These are very handy for me as a game master. They are enemy creators, little villain character sheets, which is very handy. Wait, do I need to have some? There, it's a little better for you to see. And it also has all the sheets of the new classes. Brawler, Warlock, and the Witch, and the guides that go on the back, but these are always easily to download on their website, and it even has some equipment booklets, which is handy with new katanas now. I did not see that before, so we could still be surprised. Katanas, brass knuckles, scimitar, twisted dagger, the whip sword. Ooh, Jacques the Whipper can play this now. And a rope dart. And for the magic weapons, the bright sword, the shadow blade, the enchanted chakram, casting dagger, a rune lock pistol, and an arcane rifle. And secondary weapons to start with are the hatchet, a offhand brass knuckle, so you can just go with a pair of brass knuckles. Smaller. And the throwing knives, that's one that I like. And the fighting cloak. Yeah, I can see that. If you use a sword, you can have the fighting cloak as a distraction. A rune shield gives you extra protection, always good. And the focus runes. It gives your primary weapon damage to targets with very close range, +1. Nice. And starting armor, you have mage robes, brigandine armor, skill mill armor, and bandit armor. And I liked this part as well, and I believe it has to do with the new campaign. What do they call it again? Where you can make a campaign world. You can just cut this out, put some of them in a bowl or whatever, and everyone can pull a question out of it and answer it, or answer it together, and you can create a full-on villain with this. I love that. Make it more story-driven than it already is. And you have doom tracks for the new campaign format. So after you mark $5 in this tier, when you gain fear at the end of a long rest, you roll twice and take a high result. So the doom track represents growing disasters that befall New Valoran. Yeah, it's a new campaign setting. Here we go. And this I liked a lot as well. And maybe show it better. Like this. This is a DM screen. That's why I'm hoping to be able to run this game in real life with some players. Because now I have stuff that I can really use. I will leave this here for now. And this is it. This is where we do it for the book. Like I said, I've already seen some things of it. As well, again, the art is beautiful. Beautiful art. We have new character options, new classes, new ancestries, new communities, and a completely new thing that I really love, transformations. Let's go into it. Introduction, yeah, I'll read that on my own again or something. We have Assassin, which has the subclass of Executioner Guild, which is just the stabby assassin, and the Poisoner's Guild, which is the more sneaky, debilitating, as they say, debilitating powers and punishing afflictions. The Brawler, I like the Brawler. You have Juggernaut, which is just your, you could say drunk fighter, as in fighting in a tavern brawler. And the martial artists are also known as the monk, which I always like. I like, if I would play, I'm normally not really someone that plays close combat fighters or characters that are mostly focused on full-on combat, unless it's the martial artist, because I just like the fact that villains come at you and they're like, oh, he's unarmed, he can't do anything. And after that they're like, oh, we made a hell of a big mistake. So I like that. The Warlock, and with this one I had already talked about my with players yesterday when we had after our Lancer game. I can do stuff with that. If one of my characters would die, I could turn them into a Warlock if I want, by making them have a pact with a god of this world, of my world, or something like that. And the Witch. The Witch, especially one, too bad it is not it can't transform into animals, because that would be fitting for Foxy's character, because she her character has a witch hunter going after him. Why not play a witch? Look at this art here. Beautiful, beautiful. Here you go, the Assassin. We go on over the foundation features, because specialization is a choice afterwards, I believe. And they'll go. Foundation features first strike. The first time in the scene you succeed on an attack, you deal double damage. It's like the sneak attack. But it is in a scene, so it's literally just an ambush. Your mark for death feature uses these 6s instead of the 4s. So you can mark, you can do a mark for death. It's a class feature. On a successful weapon attack, you can mark a stress to make the target mark for death. When you deal damage to a target you've marked for death, add a number of d6s equal to your tier then. If you are the Assassin subclass. You don't have that with the Poisoner's Guild. But with the Assassin subclass, the Executioner's Guild, of course, you are the sneaky stabby version. And with the Poisoner's Guild, you have Toxic Concoctions. You mark a stress to place 1d4 plus 1 tokens on this card. When you mark a successful weapon attack, you can spend a token to afflict the target with a poison. And you know 3 kinds of poison. The Ghost Petal, the target becomes temporarily vulnerable. The Great Spore, the target must also mark a stress. That's a good one. Or the Leech Weed, you deal an extra 1d6 damage on this attack. And when you take a long rest, clear all unspent tokens. Specialization features, we will not talk about those because you can, I believe you can choose only one of those when you level. The Brawler. You have the Juggernaut. Like I said, the Juggernaut is more like the bar brawler. Rugged. Do I have to? Oh. There. The rugged. You see it? Yeah. Well, you might. Gain a permanent +3 bonus to your severe damage threshold, which is always good. You can take more damage. And you have Overwhelm. When you succeed on an attack against a target, you can spend a hope to throw the target within close range or to force them to mark a stress. I do like that. Just throw. Punch, throw. Why not? And the martial artist has a foundation feature stance fighter, and I can see the stances, I believe, on the next page. Here we go. Stances. Stances are special body positionings that enable martial artists to attack, react, or defend in combat. Each stance grants your character a different ability, bonus, or feature while active. You choose 2 stances from tier 1 when you first take the martial artist's subclass foundation card. Mark the circle next to each to indicate that your character knows and has access to them. Mark a new stance from your tier or below each time you gain a level. So, you can have, let's start with tier 1. Favored, you gain a bonus to damage rolls equal to a trait of your choice. Invigorating, on a successful attack, roll a d4. On a result of 4, gain a focus. Quick, when you make an attack, you can spend a focus or mark a stress to target another creature within range with that attack. Always a good one, so you can have a multi-attack. And reliable, gain a +1 bonus to your attack rolls. And you get more and more as you level. See, you get the extra stats. The Warlock. You have 2 kinds of Warlock. You have the Pact of the Endless, which means you are stand strong against enemies and avoid death. And Pact of the Wrathful, if you want to destroy those who act against you. So they are both spellcast rate of presence. And the Foundation, Patron's Mantle. Spend a favor to cloak yourself in a terrifying aspect of your patron that lasts until you take severe damage or the scene ends. While this effect is active, you gain bonus to your damage threshold, equal to your tier, and have advantage on action rolls to intimidate a target. Always fun. Deathless Embrace. Once per rest, spend any number of favor to roll an equal number of patron dice. For each result of 4 or higher, clear a hit point. That's good. You can save yourself with that. And the Pact of the Wrathful. I believe that's the one that we were talking about. And what was the feature? When you fill, Patron's Boom. When you fill a roll, you can spend 3 hope to reroll with advantages. I believe there is one that you have. Let's see. Patron's Fury. Spend a favor to imbue your attacks with your Patron's power until you deal severe damage or the scene ends. When you roll damage while this effect is active, you also roll a number of patron dice equal to your tier and add their total to the damage dealt. That's not bad. On Deadly Vengeance, when you mark any number of hit points from an attack, you can spend a favor to roll an equal number of patron dice. For each result of 4 or higher, the attacker marks a hit point. And the Witch, we talked about this. I thought it was the Warlock, but it's the Witch that is focused on hope or fear. You have the Hedge, which play the Hedge if you want to use your craft to empower yourself in your party. And this is the first one, I believe, with subclasses having a different trait. Because the Hedge Witch uses Knowledge as a spellcast trait, and the Moon Witch uses Instinct as a spellcast trait. So it's a difference. I like that. The foundation feature of the Hedge Witch is Herbal Remedies. Yeah, the Hedge Witch is mostly healing, apparently. When you or an ally in the scene clears 1 or more hit points or stress as a result of using consumable, increase the number cleared by 1, so you make it better. And the Enchanted Talisman. Once per rest, you can imbue a small item with your protective essence. Spend any number of hope to place an equal number of tokens on this card. When the person holding the talisman takes damage, spend the token to reduce the number of hit points they mark by 1. Clear all tokens from this card when you take a rest. To make it not too strong. And for the moon, the Knight's Glamour. Make a spellcast roll to glamour yourself in a gwisting facade. While glamoured, you have advantage on rolls that leverage your illusory appearance. Additionally, adversaries within close range must mark a stress to attack you. Unless you mark a stress to maintain your glamour, it drops when you mark a hit point or deal damage. So yeah, that's... I do believe... I thought it was... Well, I can't find it. So, you have new ancestries, which I always like because I love races. I love playing different races, weird races mostly. We have the Aetheris, which are humanoids that have angel backgrounds, not like a angelic person, but they are known by wings, as you can see. And you can make the wings the way you want them. You can also make it like a more like a bat wing, which I love. They have as features the Hallowed Aura. Once per long rest, when an ally within close range rolls with fear, you can change it into a roll with hope instead. And the Celestial Wings, you have wings that allow you to fly once per scene. While flying, you can spend a hope instead of marking an armor slot. That's a good one. The Elemental Skin. So now we have Elemental. Well, they have them. You have 4 different ones. You have the Earth Skin, which gains Stone Skin, gain a permanent +1 bonus to your armor score and damage threshold at character duration, which is a good one. Or an Immovable. While you're touching the ground, you can't be lifted or moved against your will. So you just lock, which I like. You have the Emberkin. You are fireproof, which speaks on its own. And you have Ignition. Mark a stress to wreath your primary weapon in flame until the end of the scene. While the weapon is ablaze, it gives off a bright light and you gain a 1d6 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. I would even allow it, if you are a Emberkin, to use that as a light source in a cave or something. The Skykin, which is air. Gale Force. Mark the stress to conjure a gust of wind that carries you or a very close ally up to a very far range. Additionally, you can always control the speed at which you fall. So this race always has feather fall. Always. Never fall to your death. Good. And Eye of the Storm. Spend 2 hope to grant you or an ally within melee range a +1 bonus to evasion until you take severe damage or use this feature again. Bad. We have also the Tidekin. They are, well, which is logical, amphibious. They have a, they can breathe and move naturally on the water, which is logical because they are part of the water, you could say. They, and Large Spring, once per rest, when you have access to a small amount of water, you can mark a stress to clear a hit point on yourself or an ally within a very close range. Kind of like Percy Jackson, but it takes a toll. And I love now that they put these guys in the game. We have gnomes. Gnomes. I love gnomes. Nimble Fingers. When you make a finesse roll, you can spend 2 hope to re-roll your hope die. So they are really good thieves. Flicker Step. I love that one. Once per scene, you can teleport to another point you can see within far range. I love that. They can just teleport. Only once per scene, but still. New communities. You have the Juneborn. They are from Desert. And they have as community feature, during a short rest, you or an ally can reroll a die used for a downtime move and take the high result. That's a good one. The Freeborn. They are You could say freed slaves, escaped slaves, stuff like that. They have as community feature Unbound. Once per session, when you roll with fear, you can change it into a roll with hope instead. That's a good one. Frostborn, which will not be able in my world that I am running now. Being part of a Frostborn community means you come from a place of snow and ice. Well, my world doesn't even have north, east, south, and west, so. But the community feature is very handy because when you take a rest, you clear a hit point automatically. Just one hit point cleared. And then you have the Hearthborn. So that means you are from a humble origins, living in a modest village or quaint countryside, and your community feature is close knit. Once per long rest, you can spend any number of hope to grant an ally within far range an equal number of hope. So technically, you can give your hope to someone else. This one will be very good now for Phoenix's character because he is racking up hope because that's part of his character, and he could just went on a rest. Here, have it, have it. And Reborn. You were once a member of a different community that you're no longer part of. That could be for Foxy's character, but. Community feature, found family. Once per race you can spend a hope to use an ally's experience as if it were your own. When you do so, describe how your time with that ally prepared you for this moment. When you join a new community or rediscover your old one, you can permanently trade this card for that one instead. And you have the Warborn, which is even better for Phoenix because he is a soldier. Brave face, once per session when you would be forced to mark a stretch, you can spend a hope instead. That's always a good. And these are the ones that I love. Demigod. I would not give this one during game. This has to be something that might be born with. So might need to check in with story or anything. And they get gifted. You gain a +1 bonus to action, reaction, and damage rolls, or weight of divinity. When you fail a roll, you must mark the stress, or the GM gains a fear. That's a fun one. So it was a transformation that we talked about yesterday. You have the Ghost, and I would love that one because that I can use when one of the characters dies. Because they once lived and are bound to the mortal realm because they have unfinished missions, and that's one of the features. Work with your GM to decide what purpose or desire keeps you bound to the mortal realm. When you fulfill it, cross through the veil of death. It adds so much to a story. And Ephemeral. Your body wavers in and out of being corporeal. You are resistant to physical damage, take double magic damage, and can mark 2 stress to momentarily pass to a solid object. So, in a way, these are the same rules as your character in Unglorious, where you are also undead. Normal weapons don't hurt you. So, Reanimated. That one might be put in as well because you are brought back to life. As a corpse, during the rest, you can clear hit points only if you have access to remains from a recently deceased creature. Describe how you use these materials to maintain your corpse. So we just killed a bear, and my leg is starting to die off. I'm gonna put this bear leg onto me. I now have a bear leg. Won't stay dead. When you choose the risk it all death move, we already had that once, and fail, you can permanently mark a hit point to succeed instead. When you do, you still use the hope dice value to clear hit points and stress. When you permanently mark your last hit point, you pass through the veil of death. Shapeshifter. This one will not be for during a character's death. This is also one thing that we would have to be born with. or a curse. Your features are: you can change your shape. During a rest, you can use a downtime move to swap your current ancestry with another. When you do, describe how your appearance changes. And it's only skin deep, so you only gain the benefit of one of your chosen ancestry's features. And as you can see here, it can be very gruesome with how you change, because it could be changing by just molting, or yeah, whatever you want it to be. That's the fun part. Vampires, maybe I'll put in vampires in the game. And if you are bitten, and you will get the curse. Fangs. Make an attack using a trait of your choice to bite a target within melee range. On a success, deal d6 physical damage using your proficiency, and if you had a successful attack with that, you can feed. Mark a stress to feed. Place a number of tokens on this card equal to the number of hit points the target marks. You can hold up to 6 tokens at a time. Before you make an action roll, you can spend a token to make your fear die a d20. When you take a long rest, remove a token. While there are no tokens on this card, you make action and reaction rolls with disadvantage. So you need to feed. And of course, everybody's favorite shapeshifter transformation, werewolf. Most people put in werewolf. Wolf form. When you mark one or more hit points, you can mark a stress to enter your wolf form. While in this form, you gain a 1d10 bonus to attack and damage rolls. That's a lot. When you gain a hope while in wolf form, you must also mark a stress. Your wolf form lasts until you go into your howling rampage or take a rest. In the howling rampage, when you mark your last stress while in wolf form, you go into a rampage. Roll a number of d20s equal to your tier and deal that much physical damage to all creatures within very close range. Then drop out of wolf form. So that's a danger, but it is a fun part. And we can also work in creating other were creatures. Especially predators can easily take the place of wolves and still use the wolf form and howling rampage features. And we already looked at the equipment, and let's get new adversaries. We're going to look at we're not going to look at the adversaries yet. New environments: the abandoned mine, the alchemist abandoned workshop, the corrupted swamp, cursed graveyard, grand feast, hold line, local festival, raiding party, beach day, deadly dungeon, duel, heist, masquerade ball, ocean voyage, vast desert, witch's hut, archmage's tower, astral realm, crystal waste, a dragon lair, megastorm, sunken citadel, upscale casino, volcanic eruption, a lot, convergence, city of portals, moon kingdom, realm of the dead, and time. You know what? This one might be fun because we have one of our characters who came from a different universe, different world through a portal. We can maybe use convergence. And yeah, campaign frames, that's the one. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 new campaign frames. This one does look fun. Castle High. Let's see. Castle High. In a modern fantasy world, teenagers attend a boarding school in the clouds. Sneaking out of class to fly rooms, explore floating islands, and save their friends. Ooh, sounds good already. In a modern world of knights and cars, wands and flip phones, there's no better place to study magic than a floating school known as Castle High. Drifting among the mysterious ruins of the ancient world and modern settlements that populate the clouds. This school and its surroundings hold secrets, dangers, and something more sinister. A string of disappearances has recently plagued the school, and no one knows who or what is behind it, or who will disappear next. Oh, I like that. It is, yeah, adventurous, dreamy, full-hearted, melodramatic, modern, playful, and thrilling. I do like those. And it has all ancestries, but also the naturally winged fairy and ethereal students zip around the camps with ease. I love it. and there are some unique aspects to some classes. That's always fun. And yeah, so I do like those things. I have made my own campaign setting. Reign of the Were Dragon. Ooh, a Were Dragon. I like that. Oh, messages. Reign of the Were Dragon, complexity rating 2. Epic fairy tale like grim and hopeful. Black Cauldron, Conan the Barbarian, for the Queen, the Little Mermaid, Sleeping Beauty, Sword and Stone, Wolfman. So actually, fairy tales. Go on. Does it have any essentially differences to Conan or? Among the stars in the night sky, dragon ship was licensed to the Fairy Warden, who ascended in wealthy some draconian can exert its celestial energy akin to starlight when they use their elemental breath. Okay, different elemental breath. That one. Some new aspect for werewolves and shapeshifters, and some class differences. Yeah, they really put it in. I'm going to check more. I don't know if I would like this one. Daggerheart of Andaluria. It's a complexity rating 3, and it has a gothic, grim, heroic, intriguing, monstrous, mysterious, romantic, spooky, thrilling. Battle not with monsters lest ye become one. Dangerous secrets, driving back the darkness, fate and tradition, the nature of evil and power of politics. Yeah, it's really Bloodborne like Castlevania, Crystal Hellboy, all those horror like settings. And the last one, Journey to Horizon. After the 1,000-year cataclysm, the Fellowship of Heroes embarks from their magically protected sanctuary to journey across a broken continent and resurrecting the fallen gods and heal the world. That is also a setting that I would like. It has a high complexity, but still, I love post-apocalypse stuff. And it is focused on Dragon Prince, Fallout, Final Fantasy VII, Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast. I love that show. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Lord of the Rings trilogy, Lunar and Willow. Yeah, this might also be one of my settings. I love that. So I might, if we ever do a second campaign of this, which probably gonna happen because I'm loving the system, expect that to happen. So I will put all these back into the box because there is more. There's more, don't worry, there's more. But there's a hidden compartment underneath. Lucky. Tokens to put on the cards for like transformations and the vampire and stuff like that. Dice. I do love these dice. And of course those are all the foundation cards for the classes and the communities. The old ones had it as well. Look at these dice. Beautiful. Clearly, fear and hope die. You have two sets of dice, which I love. And this is This is not a D10. This is a D10. A D12. Fear and Hope. D12, Fear and Hope. Choose which one. More Fear and Hope. It's a good box. I mean, come on, it's a good box. You have cards. I am gonna go on. I'm going to. I do love this. This is a good box, worth the money of that you pay for it. Because I have the special edition box, so special dice, the special colored box, special colored book, and it looks awesome. So yeah, I'm hoping to be able to have it in real life as well. Go put it all back. I hope you guys liked this video. Every time I will have a new set or new box or something, new system that has something like this in it, I will do one. And how long have I been filming? Half an hour. Should we? You know what? We could. I can see. Oh, it doesn't. You know what? I'm going to just put this in like this. Then I know it can't close. See? Then it closes. Put it back underneath. There we go. And put it back in the closet. There. I will do the character creation some other time. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be back on Wednesday with a new episode on stream of Daggerheart.